Hello, everyone. We are back because we have more to say. Can you even imagine that?
I know.
The last episode, which actually we just recorded not too long ago, was about taking that pause and feeling. And once we stop recording, of course, there's always more to say about something. So we're going to dive a little bit. This is kind of part two because it's really just an extension of all the things we said. So if you didn't listen to it, you might want to jump back. But as we all know, it doesn't matter because it's all good information in whatever order or relevance you listen to it. But I have been noticing lately how, so we were talking about most people are going really fast, just going through the day, doing life as they've done life. And it's really a cool thing and perhaps very important to start interrupting patterns and switching energies, move out of what all the old stuff and start embracing the new stuff. And redefining, how we do life and how we think of life. So what I've noticed, not only in myself, but that I'm noticing other people doing it, is really maintaining boundaries, which, I feel like everyone's talked about that for a while. But I think it's a really relevant conversation of throughout your day, determining what you're passionate about and really speaking your truth. It's all about being true to you, speaking your truth, and holding that in a respectful, kind, professional way, no matter where you're at. But I think it is a very Renaé, I can just tell by your eyes. I'm fascinated to what you're going to say next. And maybe I'm going to stop
So
talking
stuff.
because now I want to know boundaries. Okay, Renaé, go.
They were showing this whole component of people like talking and like being in this whole energetic field. And the energetic field is dismantling. So people are like, I saw people just like doing this, like looking all confused. I'm like, what is happening there? And they're like, don't you see? As everything dismantles, people are getting more and more confused because they think I have to say this to be well known in this group, or I have to do this to be accepted here, or I can't speak my truth. And then they're showing like one person, she looks like you, so it doesn't surprise me, right? They're showing one person in the middle, and she starts speaking her truth. And you see everybody around like just being like shocked at what is being said. But all of a sudden they elevated the person. So now she was no longer with the rest of that group. Now, when she moved up here, they showed all of this. When you see the light coming through, like the clouds, or whatever, the sun, breaking through in the morning or whatever it is, they show all of that coming to her in this whole beautiful field, waking up within her whole body and everything shifting and changing. And then that whole, her body just like peeled, like something like you would peel an orange, right? That's what it looked like. It just like broke and just like peeled off. And she just emerged forward in this like beautiful energy. And, what they're saying is if people really understood, if they could speak their truth and not make excuses for it, be truthful and honest for who and what they are, they will elevate their field of intelligence, which I don't even know what the hell that means, but field of intelligence, their whole energetic body and realignment with the energy of what we were originally here for. They said, and they were showing, well, and they're still showing the energy of what we were before we chose to come to Earth. Okay. Look, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to experience all this amazing shit. Like, this is going to be so cool. But somehow we bought into everybody else's words and things, which they're saying was just all about control. Every single thing was just about control, which you've said 1,000 times, right? So they're saying, so that was all about control. They're still controlling us. They're still controlling us because we're in this field and we're speaking and talking what we think. Oh, I can't say that because that's going to be perceived wrong and somebody's going to come at me, and then it's cancel culture or whatever. And the cancel culture really is pretty much over, everything that I've seen. But it's that point they're saying, don't you see how fearful people are to speak their truth? They're saying, stand in your truth, elevate your energy, elevate your field, and you're going to be into a whole different experience, a whole different energy of reconnecting. Because they said what happens is you reconnect with the energy of what you were when you decided to come here. So all of a sudden, and this makes perfect sense. Yes. All of a sudden, what you were seeing or what your experience is like, oh my God, this is whatever, strife or whatever you want to call it. All of a sudden it's like, oh my God, look how awesome it is. Because you're going back to remembering, I came here to experience this. How freaking awesome is that? Like, oh my God, isn't that crazy cool? So that's what I was seeing. That's what I was. So thanks for letting me say that. What were you seeing? Because I can tell by your eyes, something's coming in.
Well, in this, we've already talked about all of this. So I'm going to what I'm about to say because it's been kind of a process. Right before we recorded this, I said to Renaé, I was talking to my daughter and she's really holding her boundaries with things a lot. Her roommate was like, it's okay to be angry. So we were talking about it's okay to hold boundaries, feel some emotion about it. But, and you're going to remember. So and I feel my daughter, she's, 20 and she's really just blossoming as a human and as a artist and as an adult and as like she just really is coming into her own, which a lot of 20-year-olds who go off to college do. But for weeks now, and I've showed you a couple pictures, no matter if she's in her house or walking the streets, she always has this beam of light, whether it's from the lights in her house or from the sun. And I have said to you, Renaé, even her cat sitting on the stairs, I'm like, it's like she can't take a picture without this light, emanating from her, emanating to her. And I've even said it to her. And I'm like, the light is all, and people could say, well, that's the flash. Well, that's the camera. Yeah, if you want to talk like that, but that's crap. Like, I talk to people on FaceTime and see pictures all the time. That light emanating to from her, it's hard to really like be like, holy shit. And how many times have I said that to you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is so crazy. So do you see? I'm saying all this because I started saying, Renaé, let's talk about boundaries and having, okay with emotion. I was just talking to Avery. She brought it up. And then you said this whole elevation thing. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this story, but Renaé, you can see what things have been going on in her life, that there is a visceral, physical viewing of her making this connection with this light. So much to the fact that I know I've showed you at least 4 photos. I'm like, hey, isn't this crazy? Like every time I talk to this girl, inside, outside, doesn't matter. There's light illuminating.
Yeah.
So anyway, what a beautiful, as you said that, this is so much excitement for everyone listening. This is happening in our lives, in our world, if you're catching it, kind of like the mushroom thing. It's so magical and it's literally right there in front of you. You just have to pause, feel, and you'll see it. And you'll see it. And it's so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're going beyond. Just like you said, if people want an excuse, but they, oh, well, but that's probably the light was here. I'm telling you, I've seen some of those pictures. No, it's got nothing to do with like you see, like right down the middle of her thing. And the one that you showed me, I was like, oh my God, look at how cool that's going right down in. But then it was the realization of like, no, 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 it's coming out. It's going up. Like it was really this beautiful sharing of the energies. And of course, she's connected in to the she's beyond, here and what, and she's grown in such a beautiful, amazing way. And that's what we can all do. Stand and speak, make your boundaries, stand in that truth, speak it. And it's not, they're saying what's happening is when you're in that field, and Tracy, you're so good at this. When you're in the field, you can speak your truth. And when you're saying it with such confidence and there's no fear of, I say this, I'm going to get in trouble, or I'm angry and I'm going to speak this in anger. That's completely different than you speaking your truth in that solid knowing. And like, you know what? Nope, this is what it is. And the story I'm going to use is years ago, I used to dislike going to, sorry, I'm going to say this, but dislike, well, no, I guess I'm not sorry. Dislike going to my husband's family because I was always the outcast. I've always done this stuff. Well, not always, but for many, many years I've done this. Over 30 years I've done this. So I was always that weird chick, So, and then they'd be the groups, and I was always talked about. Well, I finally was like, you know what, this is bullshit. Why am I going? So I said to my husband, like finally I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to go out of obligation. And I said to my husband, I'm not going anymore. I'm done. I'm not going. And he was like, okay. which I was shocked because I had said before, I'm not going out of guilt and whatever. And he'd be like, oh, you got to go, blah, blah, blah. And then I would go and I'd be miserable and go home. So, but when I finally had made the decision, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go. And he was like, okay. And then he told me like, oh, everybody was asking about you. Where were you? I'm like, why would they ask about me? And he's like, yeah, everybody said they missed you. I was like, what the? When you come with your conviction of like, you know what? No, this isn't healthy for me. I'm not going. I'm telling you, people and the energy responds in a way that you would not think. But when you're coming at it from that fear, that worry, that concern, that's because, and sometimes when I wouldn't go and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so concerned. And they'd be like, oh my God, is she too good for us? Blah, 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 blah. But when I spoke my truth, and it was not of anger, it wasn't, I was just like, you know what? That's not healthy for me. He totally got it. I was like, yeah, okay, no good. And to this day, they'll say, you know, you're going to go, you know, to this forever. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not. I don't really feel comfortable in that group, or I'm not like, it's just not the right thing, whatever, for whatever reason. Sometimes I don't even know, but I get like a no, a strong no. Because there's been times I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to go. And then I'll get like this, yeah, nope, not going to go. And I don't know why, but I honor it. I'm like, okay, like who knows what I'm doing, but it's okay. And when I'm home or when I'm doing whatever, there's always amazing things happening at that particular point. So honor that. And I know you're so good at that, Trace. You're so good at honoring what is right and speaking that truth with such conviction, which in such power, because a real power comes out. And of course, people aren't gonna, question it, or if they do, it's just like, shut up, like stop your drama. This isn't about drama, right? So it really is amazing. So start to do that. Like, I don't know. That's all I had to say about that.
I love that story because it is magnetics and I don't even know, and it doesn't matter to me. I feel like the energies are so much more available and potent and clear. And we are so much more aware now of what's possible. But that whole magnetic, like your whole environment, all the people, places, and things, they start to show up differently. And it's delightful. Like it's so delightful that you're like, oh my gosh, does this stuff really work?
Yeah, right? It really is amazing, but it does, and you don't even realize, like, oh my God. So it goes back to the story, with you, with like, Mike sending the picture of the mushroom and all that. Pay attention, look at all of the things. There's such a bigger picture. We're used to doing this and looking for these little blinders, like, oh, yep, this is what it is. No, it's this. There's so much more to all of these things. And when you really keep going beyond, like, oh, let's look beyond this, you're going to be shocked at what really is happening. And you'll notice the times that you're not listening. Like, oh shit, I really should have listened to that. I should have, oh, yep, that gut feeling like, I knew I shouldn't have gone. And look at what happened. Well, now pay attention. Now you'll know. It's your system saying, okay, now you get this feeling again, or we'll show you a different way. And you'll pay attention because it's really about coming within, going inside and moving forward from there, moving beyond everything we've known, all the things we think we're supposed to be doing, all the things that we may have wanted when we were young that we no longer want, all of that stuff.
And I will say there's something comforting in the fact of if something presents itself that's undesirable, to know that it's just presenting more powerfully, so you can't miss it. And that's kind of, a gift. And it's all these things that have been said throughout the years, but either I just understand it better, I'm working with it better, but I really am, and I think it's because that beyond, it gives you a such a better perspective of like, oh, all right, that's loud because I'm not going to miss it this time. Whereas if it was I'll just use pain because that's easy. If it was a minor pain, I could probably just brush it off for the day, whatever, take an Advil, make it go away. Um, yeah, so it's cool. I mean, and of course, you're catching me on a great day. Renaé see me when I'm like, hey, we roll through those times, guys. And then we're like, oh, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And have you noticed, Tracy, this is sort of like related but not related. Have you noticed, like, because we used to both be like, Advil queens, like, right, like everything. And I noticed I had a dull headache, which goes right back to exactly what I had this dull headache the other day. I was like, yeah, okay. It didn't even occur to me to take an Advil, didn't even enter my brain. The next day in the morning, that dull pain was still there. And I was like, yeah, whatever, just sort of ignoring it. Like, yeah, I can power through, no big deal. Well, then by the afternoon, I was like, oh my God, this is killing me. What the hell is going on? Interestingly enough, I never thought to take an Advil. And I just like said, okay, wait a minute. This is clearly telling me to stop because I was really, working a lot of stuff. And I was like, it's telling me to stop. Let me just stop. And I'd been on the computer a lot. So of course the human part was like, oh, it's probably my eyes. And then I was like, stop trying to justify this and figure it out. It's nothing to figure out. My body's telling me to stop. I'm going to stop. And I stopped into the computer. I stopped and I just like closed my eyes and just like breathe normal. I didn't take deep breaths into it. I just let my body breathe how it wanted to breathe. And it was so interesting. At one point, I felt like the whole body was breathing, my head and everything. And when my breath went out, I could feel that pain almost like leaving. And when it came back in, it was almost like a water going through, like this flow was happening. Because I remember thinking, wow, it feels like there's water running through my head. And which then, of course, the human body was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna run the water purity through me. Like I had to start to control it.
Define it, control it.
And then I heard, I mean, and this was so clear, it was like almost like somebody in the house said, stop, like just read, like, stop. And I was like, wait, what? And then I thought, oh, wait a minute, my son went for a run. He's not even here. Like, that's my first I would be there. I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha. Which was the stop trying to do exactly, define, figure out. And I was like, okay, nope, I'm just breathing. And I think it was like 5 minutes. And all of a sudden it was gone. It was gone. And I was like, oh, okay. I looked at the computer and my eyes were clear because what I didn't notice was my eyes were getting a little foggy. I didn't really, like, I knew the pain was there, like, and my shoulders were a little tighter. I felt it afterwards. This is what I realized. My stomach felt a little queasy. My one dog kept coming up and nudge. She pushes me with her nose. She kept doing that. I'm like, okay. And I would just put my hand down and pet her. So all those things of like, stop, just stop for a minute. And I was ignoring them until it got so pain. And then when I just stopped and just breathed regularly, closed my eyes, then I was told not to control it, to do something. It was amazing. And then it was gone and everything was so much clearer and I felt so much better. So don't ignore these little things till they become big things, which is easy to do, clearly. I think other than just yesterday or the day before. So I still do that.
And that I love that you brought this up because the other morning I woke up and I was like, wow, I haven't had a headache this bad in a while. And I love, I have this little PEMF machine that you can just hang on your neck. I got my red light and I'm like, oh, I love to put the red light on my belt. I don't even know what I did, belly. I'm like, oh, it's probably my liver gallbladder again with the,
Figuring out.
but same thing, pattern interruptions. Cause I was already like, oh, the Advil's downstairs. Well, I'll go take three, right? Like knock it out. Let's really get it. And I did the red light and the PEM thing. By the time I got downstairs, I was like, oh, holy shit, did that headache go away? But pattern interruption. So same story. And I'll admit, I was like, oh gosh, I have stuff to do. I'm going to take Advil. But if you give yourself that pause and okay, can you just try? I don't even know if I may probably did intentionally be like, well, let me try this first. I think it was more so because it was down. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't have water. Actually, the water is what I needed to take that. But cool stuff because I love that you said that was just like 3 or 4 days ago. And I was actually shocked. I'm like, I totally don't have that headache anymore. And was it the pump and the red light, or was it just that I paused for a minute and gave it a chance to pattern interruption? Why do you got to take Advil? We don't, let's choose not to do that anymore. I
Yeah.
know but it's fun to play with. And then you just reminded me that of that story. Cause what I go to work. Hey, listen, guys, I didn't have to take Advil. My pump and my red light might have worked, like people
And
be
that's
like,
what I like, because you woke up and you had it, but then the first thing that popped in your brain was the hemp and the red light. So clearly your system was saying, okay, listen, we need something from this. And then move forward. Because I don't think, because when you said, well, I don't know, maybe I was trying to figure it out. It didn't feel like that at all. Like, and even the healers were saying, no, her body gave that to her. This is what we need. Because they said there were three things going on at that moment. So you needed those two things, the water and, whatever else. Because they said together, they all flowed together and worked to get your whole body back into alignment because something was misaligned. So I said, with everything you did, they worked together as one to get your whole body back into sync in the new energy and into the beyond. So that's cool.
It's so cool that I have Renaé because I chose a while ago, I want to use light, sound, and magnetics to help steward us into these new energies.
No.
So thank you for the greater awareness of what was going on and excitement to everyone listening because it's getting really cool.
It is getting really cool. And you know what they're saying as a special, I love when they say some of these things. I'm like, what? Because as a special gift for everybody, what you're going to do is when you're laying down in bed or anywhere, they're saying just, lay down and ask that the magnetics for your body come forth and readjust for your beyond. And they're saying that you will feel that. And then they're saying it will not be ever too much for you. They say it will adjust for some of you very softly, very gently, and in little spurts. So the more you'll do it, the more you'll feel that your system aligning. Because then some people are really misaligned, and some people are just a little bit, and some people are right on that just every now and then just need that little thing. So if you're one of those that just need that little adjustment, they're saying just say the magnetics reshift and realign, or something like that. The intention being, because the intention is what's bringing it forward. So the intention being you are now restructuring, realigning, whatever, all of your magnetics to your, if you want to say beyond or whatever. But again, they're saying, Renaé, you're using too many words. That's what I do.
Like the words.
Exactly. So feel this, people. So have your intention be whatever it to be, and it will happen. They said some people think they have to have words. My sister Michelle is great at that. She's like, what words are there? I'm like, Michelle, you know it's the intention. Yeah, I know it's the intention, but sometimes I need words to start it off.
Sometimes I like, just give me a thread. It just, right. Give me the thread.
And then she takes it from there and she's freaking awesome. But they're probably like, okay, here's it. So they're saying if, you need the words, that was some of them. But they're saying the intention to have your magnetics be whatever, exactly how they're supposed to be, that will bring it through. Anytime they're saying any intention that you had, instantaneously it starts to happen. We humans just think, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. And it's not true. And they're saying we're in that energy now. So honor it, be it.
Yay, be it. I love that, the becoming.
Be it and beyond.
Well, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. But thank you, everybody, for being here. Give us the thumbs up. Tracy, do that in case your thumbs come up.
Oh, it should.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up.
But I want it. Oh. Magic.
That is really cool.
No thumbs up. Magic. We called in the magic.
Yes. So give us a thumbs up if you like it. Hit the like button. That's the same thing, the thumbs up. Hit the like button, subscribe, the little bell to be notified when we post these. And have an awesome time creating your day. Choose wisely.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Become beyond. What did you say? I like how you said that. I forgot what you said already.
I don't know what I said.
It's gone.
It's gone. Hopefully you caught it. So just become, and go beyond.
Yes. There.
Let's go.
Let's go.